Big Bad Wolf for a week since the morning he had gone hunting along the new road through the forest.
Selling this road is just what we need. People always have plenty of food, and now we'll be bringing it right into the forest. Why trick them out of food is easier than catching a three-legged rabbit. I'll be back tonight with enough food to last a week.
But he did not come back. Mother Wolf had been against the plan from the start. She had many relatives who lost their lives dealing with people. Now with winter approaching, she and Little Bad Wolf were alone and hungry.
Little Bad Wolf, I'm not letting you leave this den until you promise to stay away from the road. No matter what your father says, you can't trust strangers.
LD promised, but he had no intention of keeping his word. One look at his snarling fangs, and any traveler who knew anything about his father would surely part with that information. Then he heard a strange sound. As the little girl passed his hiding place, LD noticed a red hood hanging down her back.
What a weird outfit.
I feel someone watching me. Come out, whoever you are, and help me carry this basket. There's so much food in it, I can barely lift it.
Dad was right. Food. Did you say your basket is too heavy, little girl?
Don't move. One move and you're history.
Oh, please, little girl, don't squirt me with this cheese spread. I'll have to spend licking to get off my fur.
Well, it was either that or bop you over the head with a pepperoni. I'm too young to carry weapons.
You don't need weapons with me. What's your name?
Everyone calls me Red Riding Hood, so you might as well too. My mother got a deal on a bolt of red cloth, and she makes all my clothes from it. I talked her into adding this hood, hoping that she'll use up the material before I'm 30.
It's a nice color, but not for sneaking through the woods.
Well, I've told you my name. Now what's yours? Or are you going to be as mysterious as the last one I met?
You met another wolf on this road?
Yep, about a week ago. I trudged this way every day, although my load was much lighter then. You still haven't told me your name.
I'm Little Bad Wolf. Tell me, was this other wolf bigger than me?
Much bigger, Little Bad Wolf. He was all grown up, and you're still a pup, right?
A young adult, Red. Where did this other wolf go after you saw him?
I have no idea. He asked me 100 questions, then took off without saying goodbye.
That sounds like my dad. He's been missing for a week. Did you ask him to help you?
I sure did.
And did he help?
No way, he said. We've all got problem kids, and disappeared into the forest.
That had to be my father. Where are you taking all this food anyway?
Ha! That's the last thing he said before your dad disappeared. Are you at least going to say goodbye if I answer?
I promise I'll do all I can to help you if you'll tell me what you told my dad.
I told him that my poor, dear old granny was sick and that I was bringing her a basket of food for my mom. Then he asked where she lived. I showed him the map Mom drew, and zip, he was gone.
And Granny's still sick?
It's very strange. I bring her a basket each day, and she moans and groans like she's dying. But then she gives me a list of food to bring, and it's always enough to feed an army. I don't know how an old lady who lies in bed all day can work up such an appetite. She eats like a...
Hold that thought, Red. Maybe I can help you out. Why don't you bring your basket this far each day, and I'll take it the rest of the way?
You would do that? But why?
I like you, Red. Not every kid would be so nice to an old lady. It shows you've got character.
Thanks, Little Bad Wolf. You're so different from your father. But there's one more part of the job. Granny always gives me a list for the next day. Would you bring that back here?
Sure. I'll leave the list right under the big rock by the roadside.
You're the best, Little Bad Wolf. I wish my mother could meet you. She always says, don't talk to strangers, dear. Stay away from strangers, dear.
My mom's the same way. I had to promise to stay away from the road before I could even leave the den this morning.
Old people, just because their generation can't be trusted, they want us to be suspicious of everyone. How can I repay you for helping me?
When Granny gets better, maybe you could bring me a snack now and then for my poor mother and me. She's getting a little old to run down rabbits, and I haven't quite gotten the hang of this hunting thing yet. Dad was giving me lessons when he disappeared.
Poor Little Bad Wolf. I've never had a father, so I know how you feel. It's a deal. Let's shake on it.
Just one more thing, Red. Are there other houses on Granny Street?
Sure. Why?
Well, some folks act funny when they see a wolf in the neighborhood. How about lending me that red cloak so I can disguise myself when I leave the forest?
It's yours, Little Bad Wolf. I got a full closet of them. Don't ask, Little Bad Wolf. The garments you can't see are red, too. I hate fabric sores.
Happy to be free off her load, Red jogged off toward home. No wonder Red was dragging it. He had to see for himself the old lady who could eat this much in one day. If only there were some other way to lighten the basket.
Aha!
When his stomach was full, Ellie grabbed the still heavy basket and started toward Granny's. At the edge of town, he donned the cloak, pulled on the hood, and headed down the street. He wasn't used to being around so many people, and he was sure that his disguise would stand a close inspection. but no one seemed the least bit interested in him. People scurried this way and that, barely looking at each other. At last he saw Granny's house. He walked up the driveway and knocked loudly on the door.
Is that you, Red?
Yes, grandmother.
The door's unlocked. Come on in. Come back to my room, dear, and bring the basket. I'm too sick to eat.
Even though the day was sunny, Granny's bedroom was quite dark. She pulled all the shades. As Elby's little wolf's eyes got used to the darkness, he could see the old lady lying in bed.
Just leave the basket by the bed, dear, then feel free to run along. I don't want you wasting your whole day on an old lady like me.
But how are you feeling, Granny?
About the same, dear. Hope you're not catching something yourself. Your voice sounds different today.
Just a little cold, Granny. Nothing to worry about. Let me feel your nose to see if it's dry.
That's how you tell if an animal's sick. People are sick when their foreheads are hot.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Anyway, let me feel.
No, dear. I took my temperature just before you arrived, and it was perfectly normal.
I've forgotten. Granny, what is normal?
Oh, you know, not too hot, not too cold.
Let me look in your eyes, then to see if they're clear.
I'm fine, Red. Really, just take my list from the table by the door, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Hi, Pop.
Why, you little rascal, what'd you do with Red?
Sent her home. I'm her new delivery boy. Where's Granny? Did you?
No, those old people are all skin and bones. They're not worth eating. She was gone when I got here. She tacked this note to the door.
Dear Grandma, thank you for bringing me soup, but as you can see, I'm not here to eat it. By the time you read this, I'll be in an airplane. My doctor says the only way I'll feel better is if I soak up some rays. So I'm off to Florida. Tell your mom, see her in the spring. Love, Granny. Doesn't anybody stay with family anymore?
What's that supposed to mean?
Mom's been worried sick, Pop. All she can think about is her brother who had so much trouble with that boy Peter, and her uncle who lost his life on that pig farm. And you've been lying here stuffing your face?
Got me all wrong, son. Granny's got a huge freezer in the basement. I've been packing food into it all week.
What good is that, Pop? We can't carry the freezer out of here, and sooner or later Red is bound to catch on.
I'm worried about that kid. She's been here 6 times and still thinks I'm a granny. She must be as dumb as a rock. But come downstairs with me, Elby, and see what your old dad's been doing.
Oh, let's eat, Pop. Then we'll bring some food back to Mom.
Come here, boy. I've started a tunnel leading into the woods. Once I've finished, we can go in and out all winter, grabbing food whenever we're hungry.
How far have you gotten, Dad?
Not far. The ground is as hard as a hunter's heart. Those together, I'm sure we'll make better progress.
Come out behind the freezer with your hands up. Lie down on the floor and don't move.
That's them, officers. The two wolves who tricked me.
Little Bad Wolf tried to smooth things over.
Hi, Red. I found your missing food. My Bob and I are hiding it down here to catch the crooks that are bothering Granny.
Save your breath, Furball, and read this.
The weather is here. Wish you were beautiful. Just kidding. I miss you, but this Florida sun, shine is doing the trick. Your old Granny feels like the kid again. Not all my friends are so lucky, Red. I'm worried about my next door neighbors. They're stuck at home all winter, so I need a big favor. Could you and your mom bring them a daily basket? It would put my mind at ease. Wait till you see this great bathing suit I'm bringing back for you. It's bright red, your favorite color. Love, Granny.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
Well, this, we've got the big one on 1043, impersonating a member.
That means dressing like your granny.
And a 618, unlawful entry with intel to clear salary. He broke into your house and caused a 7.9.
He tried to trick you as we're the little guy.
Stop! All I want to know is what happens now.
Well, it's reform school for the small one and prison for the big one. Wolves are pretty crafty, but they can't get out of this.
And what happens to all the food in Granny's freezer?
It's impounded as evidence.
That means it goes to waste, and the old couple next door goes hungry. Unless my mother spends the whole winter cooking, and I spend it dragging baskets to the woods, I've got a better idea.
The law is the law.
What if they admit they're guilty? Could they get off with community service?
No way, I caught them red pod. They're going to jail.
What's your idea, Red?
Why can't they pay their debt to society by distributing all this food to people? These two can make sure no one in the neighborhood goes hungry.
Oh, great. We'll be errand boys.
It's your choice, lady, but if these two miss one delivery, they're gone.
Don't worry, officer. Give the neighbors my phone number. One complaint and you can have these crooks.
Then we also have another 325, failure to satisfy a verbal agreement. I like it.
They weren't looking forward to explaining their obligations to the cops.
You need a ride home, Red?
Thanks, officers, but I'm in no harm. I'm in no hurry. My mother is going to find me guilty of 1002.
Gee, I don't even know that one.
She told me once. She told me twice. She told me 1,000 times not to talk to strangers.
Yay.